What's up, fam? So here's my question. Do you run your business like an investor or a hustler? What's up? This is Vic from Cutz Premium Lawn Care here in Conyers, Georgia. Hope you guys are cutting on. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, I am teaching something that is worth subscribing to the channel. I believe I do. Please look through the videos. A lot of questions that is asked by my viewers, or should I say people commenting, I've already discussed a lot of it in other videos. So fam, today I wanted to have a discussion on, do you run your lawn care company like an investor or a hustler? There is a difference. So let me tell you my definition of an investor and my definition of a hustler, because sometimes people say hustling is a good thing. Hey, I get it, and I know how we have a play on words. So an investor to me is someone who puts time, work, resources in order to grow a future investment. That's what I believe an investor does. A hustler does put time and energy into what they're doing, but it's short term. They don't necessarily look at something down the road. An investor believes that money is only a tool to be used or exchanged for knowledge and growth. A hustler look at money as in money. That's what it is. I want to get a lot of money. It doesn't mean that an investor doesn't want to get paid. It means that an investor understands that sometimes the better payoff is way down the road, and they know how to work towards getting the better payoff. An example of that would be in lawn care. I know that eventually I do not want to be on a truck cutting grass 5 years from now. That's a goal of mine. So I am trying to use my knowledge and my resources at this point in time to put other people in positions to be successful, by the way, for me. Not just to do something, but to be successful so I don't have to actually go out and do the labor. A hustler may not think on that strategy. Remember, it's about money, and the best way to earn money in this business and the fastest way to earn money in this business is for you to hustle and for you to do it on your own, by yourself. Get it done. Yes, you will make money, but it will not be no long-term situation where everything will be good, because wherever you start at, a lot of time that's how you're going to finish. If you start by yourself and never trying to take the time to figure out how to add pieces into your business and to remove yourself, it's going to be you running your business all by yourself all the way to the end until you say, hey, no mas, can't go no more. So an investor would exchange money for knowledge. An example of that is when I went out and did a mulch job and I lost money in it, but I learned a lot for it. So I don't look at it in a negative sense. I looked at it as, hey, I took something that I didn't know, I put money out there, man, I lost the money, but I gained a lot of knowledge. Also, when I did the Every Door Direct Mailers last year, put a lot of money out there last year, man. Whoo, I sure enough did. And it didn't work for me, but I gained a lot of knowledge in that. A hustler probably don't look at it as something they learn. They probably look at it in a negative sense of saying, you know what, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just not going to do that part of the business. And the hustler tend to drag on and on and on about why that line of work is not good for them, other than trying to figure out a way of using that line of work to make themselves better. So let me give you an example of how a investor would take a situation and maybe do something different than the hustler. So I had a client. She would definitely text me every other service, because I do bi-weekly services, and tell me, hey, skip me this time. I don't need service. The grass look good, etc., etc. Now, as a hustler, I would probably say, you know what, I ain't trying to deal with her. I'm gonna just move on. I ain't cutting her, and remove her from the schedule. But what I try to do as an investor is figure out how can I say something to a client without just running away from them, and learn from this situation, because she wasn't the only one that at time from time would actually ask for services to be skipped. So what I did was I drafted a email and I sent it over to her. I try to make it to where it was professional and she understood where I was coming from. And then after I sent the email, I followed up with a call. Basically, my conversation went a little something like this. She was saying, hey, I don't need the service. The grass is not growing really well. I mean, not growing really high. It doesn't take every other week to keep my yard looking good. And I said to her, I said, definitely understand that. So you're saying that your grass doesn't grow really fast? And she said yes. So first off, I repeated her concern. So I did that, and after I repeated her concern, I let her know what my concern was. I ain't say, hey, this is my concern. I just said, okay. So one of the things that we truly try to provide is great customer service. And the only way I can provide great customer service is to have the guys ready to go for clients such as yourself who want their yard manicured. And the only way I can do that is to make sure that I have enough hours that my guys can work in order to keep them employed. So I have to have clients who want biweekly services. If not, I cannot maintain my staff in order to provide a service for you that is efficient, and what you would like to see when you come outside. Believe me, either she understood what I just said, or she just, as a hustler probably, just thinking about the money in her situation. So she has to understand that the same way I invest my time in making sure that she's covered, she too has to invest her time to make sure I'm covered. And she said, you know what, Vic, I definitely understand that. And the next time y'all in here, I'm just gonna maintain, stay on route. So basically, what I'm saying is that an investor understands their clientele, and they try to make it agreeable for both parties. A hustler may not, they only can, a lot of times they can only understand their circumstances, and they'll do things just on their circumstances. Because if you look up hustler, is a person who, also is looked upon as a prostitute. If you look that word up, and to prostitute yourself is pretty much only be concerned about oneself or taking advantage of another person. So this is the reason why I'm using the word investor. Look at your business as an investor. Try to think of strategies that can be put in place to help your clients understand where you're coming from without just saying, hey, I'm done with them. So, fam, to make a long story short, if you run your business like an investor, you're really going to take the time, energy, and your resources for a future payoff. And I think this is a better way of going about it, especially at time. If you're young, let's say you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you in this business that we're doing called lawn care, and you really treat it like an investment, I can really see you having a retirement in it if you truly understand the method of investing your time, money, and energy into this business. If you treat it like you're just hustling, basically what you're gonna do is figure out ways to make money. And sometimes trends of making money is not always easy. For example, yeah, it's easy to pull out a lawnmower, go cut somebody's grass, and then take away $50 and you can repeat that process. It's very hard to cut somebody's yard and you keep them for 7, 8, 9 years, and understanding what you did in order to keep that customer that long, and then giving that information over to someone who's going to work for you, let's say, to make sure that customer is satisfied. You have to think on that part of the business if you're trying to make this part of your lifelong just way of life. Think of it in the sense of someone that you work for right now. If you're working for someone, somehow, some way, they didn't look at it as a hustle. They looked at it as an investment. And just because you're saying you own a business doesn't mean you own a business. You don't own a business until you develop policies and strategies that can be taught to other people, that they can be repeated. So I kind of own a business and I kind of don't. The working part, they got it, but the part of sales, part of communication with clients, I'm that piece, and I gotta train someone to become that piece. And once I do that, and I can step away from it, then I am what is called a passive investor. Right now, I'm assisting, and I want y'all to look at it from that perspective. Ain't nothing wrong with being a hustler, but if you want something down the road, you best better invest. So thanks for liking, thanks for watching. Please comment in the bottom. Tell me, are you an investor or you a hustler? Tell me why you are an investor. Tell me why you believe you're a hustler. All right, as always, fam, hope you learned something. Cut on, lawn care family, cut on. I'm cutting out. Peace.